This is your family's first and most important line of defense against Mother Nature. When she strikes, make sure you call the people that I trust, my family and friends at Exterior Home Solutions.
Exterior Home Solutions 2-minute drill on this Monday. Got to hear from Coach Heupel as they turned the page to Florida. And Brent, let's face it, I mean, that's his biggest challenge this week is to get his team to flip the script and flip the page.
Yeah, no doubt. And, we'll see how this team reacts to adversity. So first bout of adversity for a lot of guys, some young players on here. We'll see how they respond to it, how they go. But, you got to learn from it and move on. That was the message from the players that visited. That was the message from Josh Heupel. And, it's a challenge, but it's a long grind of a football season, and Tennessee has hit a bump in the road that nobody really expected to see happen. A lot of disappointment from it, but we'll see what the maturity level of this team is.
When you asked him about injuries, he deferred to the Wednesday injury report coming up, but also did note that nobody's going to miss the season.
Right.
There might be some players that missed this week, but nobody's going to miss the season. We watched Bryson Easton walk around here. He looked way better than I thought for a kid that was helped off really with no power on his leg.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll be able to go or not. We'll see, but it looks certainly he was not come through in a pair of shorts. He was not in a brace and that type of thing. So we'll see what that looks like, and we'll see where Brew McCoy is. We'll see where Squirrel White is. Clearly, Josh Heupel saying that he didn't say they'd be back this week.
He just said nobody's out for the year.
Nobody's out for the year. So we'll see. Which that's interesting for Tennessee if those two receivers are out. What do they look like offensively? Where are the rest of those young receivers? Can they take the step that they need to take? I think we all thought Chris Brazel would have a much bigger impact than what he's had. Can Thornton do something other than be just a big play guy for a play or two in a game? Is it Mike Matthews' time or is it two tight end time? And we'll find out on Saturday.
I asked the head coach specifically about the offensive struggles. He says you got it's more than just one person. It's all 11. Sometimes a receiver's running, a wide receiver running a route at the wrong depth. Sometimes you've got a false start penalty or a holding call or a lineman downfield. Basically, self-inflicted wounds. He believes is what is hurting them. That it's not the 3-3-5 or any of that stuff. He's seen all those types of looks before, but it's conceptually different things and themselves hurting them.
Well, I do think there's a lot of self-inflicted wounds on this team. At the same time, too, I do think they have to have, make sure they've got all their answers in place for the whether it's a 3-2-6 or a 3-3-5 or whatever it is. They've got to have some answers for that because clearly Arkansas stated after the game that they watched the Oklahoma tape and said, hey, nobody stopped them better than Oklahoma has. We're going to do what they did. So that's back-to-back weeks that the teams it's the same
copycat
defense.
Deal.
It's a copycat league, and they're going to see it some more. So Tennessee's got to have some answers to that.
As for the end of the game, I asked him, do you wish you'd taken the timeout? He said yes.
Yeah, and certainly did. And again, at that point on that deal, I think that you got to have some people helping the head coach there about, hey, we need a timeout, or this, that. He's got to have some people in his ear to help him in that moment. I know he said when in answer to your question, he felt like they were ready to go, and then they weren't ready to go. Clearly, he feels a lot of angst and frustration with himself for not calling the timeout there. That's very clear.
Tennessee and Florida coming up this week. The Alabama game time has been released. That is 3:30, so there'll be a midday game, or middle of the afternoon game coming up a week from now for the Vols and Tide. He's Brent Hubbs. I'm Austin Price.